right into the game. Game number 2 between EG HuK and Golden. Golden currently leads this best of 3, or actually HuK, excuse me, currently leads this best of 3 series with a score of 1-0. Second map, of course, will be Whirlwind. In the bottom right position, representing StarTale, we have our red Zerg player. Give it up for Golden. His opponent taking the first game in the upper right position, representing Evil Geniuses. We have the blue Protoss. Give it up for EG HuK. Alright, great game number 1 from HuK. I was very worried at such pivotal points in the game, because you generally don't see something like that happen in PvZ. If your opponent commits to a 4-gate play like that, and you don't do that much damage, which HuK didn't really do. He did kill some drones, forced out a lot of units, but Golden was basically around 60 drones at that point in the game when the attack actually hit. But, you know, the reason why HuK was able to come back in this game, or in the previous game, was he was able to really pace out his opponent's composition and figure out when to be aggressive with the map with the Blink Stalkers. What tech does he follow it up with? Now, if he sees Roach Hydra, it's very normal as a Protoss player. You're just the conscious decision is going to be, okay, he's making Hydralisks, I'm gonna go ahead and make Colossi. But HuK made the smart choice of realizing, okay, he's probably gonna assume I'm gonna make Colossi, so he's probably going to transition into maybe Corruptors or maybe even to Vipers, and then my Colossi are not really going to do too much. And quite honestly, Colossi are not really the go-to composition anymore in PvZ, just because it's so easy for Zerg players to counter it with Corruptors or with things like Vipers. But hold that thought, HuK actually going for a little bit of a cannon rush here, and he does this quite a bit on stream, even sending 2 probes, so he's really committing to this, trying to take a free, just a quick free game number 2. And Golden actually was going for hatchery first. Spawning pool is just now being almost completing here for Golden. And this is going to be a little bit problematic. HuK, okay, so this has to do damage here from HuK. He's hoping that Golden is just going to lead the game and just, that's it. But that's not going to happen. So HuK now, I guess I guess that's what he wanted to do. Okay, so we got a cannon rush off. Forced the cancel at the natural. Gonna have some minerals now. Should be able to take a natural expansion rather safely. There it is. And now Golden's kind of the player on the back foot. His spawning pool is completed, but where does he take the third base now? He's going to have to get some lings on the map to go ahead and deal with any possibility of additional cannon rushes here from HuK. Alright, in fact, Golden making the smart choice behind this. He's actually just going to double expand, taking the right position as well as the 6 o'clock position. Now, did that cannon rush do enough damage? I would say that he did quite a bit of damage with that cannon rush. He did force a cancel at the natural, but his Nexus is not so much later compared to Golden. So absolutely, if you think of it in that regard, his expansion not so much later compared to Golden. And now we're going to see Golden, these natural as well as his third base should be completing here rather soon. We're going to see a pair of links on the map. In fact, Golden committing to 4 Zerglings, really trying to deny any additional cannon rushes and possible proxy pylons in the early stages of the game. And you know what? HuK's now, his tech is not really delayed. He did get the gateway up. His forge is completed. Obviously, his cybernetics core is about halfway completed. So we're going to have to kind of see the tech choice HuK commits to behind this. But there's another pylon at the third base. Oh my god, HuK. Trying to get more cannons on the map. But of course, Golden will be able to deny it for the meantime. Probe falls down. Pylon absolutely going to fall down for HuK. And there's a warp gate being started. So in the previous game, HuK did go for a very early Phoenix. If you guys remember, he didn't really commit too much into Phoenix play. All he did was make 1, played a little bit of mind tricks with Golden, and then committed to a bunch of Zealots. Now, these positions can favor early Stargate play as well for HuK, but in return, for Golden, it can actually favor Mutalisk play. And Golden is a player that does not, he's a player that likes to use Mutalisks quite a bit in PvZ. So those are definitely going to be a few things we want to look at in terms of tech choices from both players. But you never know. HuK can just go into, a robotics facility, add maybe 6 gateways, get a Mothership Core, and go for some sort of a 2-base Immortal Sentry push and try to take the quick 2-0 win over Golden. Alright, now we're going to start to see a few things here from HuK. He's getting +1 weapons. Hasn't really committed to a Stargate just yet because he is, in fact, researching +1. The gas is going to be going into upgrades instead of quicker tech here from HuK. Now, Golden, meanwhile, nice little scout here from HuK. We'll be able to confirm, in fact, this expansion's up. Golden's going up to this Roach Warren, very normally timed, and he's making some drones. So he realizes HuK's tech may not be so delayed, but there's not a big possibility that he's going to be committing too much to an early play here. So just a very good timed here, Roach Warren here from Golden. And the Stargate coming up from HuK. Okay, that's actually quite interesting. He went +1 before committing to the Stargate. So this might just be... Okay, HuK actually looks like he's going to be taking a very quick third. Now, I'm not too sure I agree with this from HuK. Whirlwind is a big map, and absolutely this map favors Zerg against Protoss. Of course, looking from the Zerg perspective. This third base, he's going to have to get, you know, a group of units or something to be able to deal with it. Now, this Stargate now starting to make some sense from HuK. What he's looking like he wants to do is make Void Rays, force out these units here from Golden, which is mainly going to be Roaches and Zerglings. Golden, if you look at his scouting information, he knows that HuK is taking this very quick third base. So this Void Ray is going to be the unit, or the units, depending how many he makes, that's going to buy him enough time to force Golden to go into Hydralisks. And then Golden can go ahead and start to be more aggressive on the map. Back home for Golden, we're seeing a pretty normally timed layer. Metabolic Boost also being started for the Zerg player. There's that swell of units coming out from Golden. 24 Zerglings, 9 Roaches. Now, all he wants to do here is try to force a cancel at that third base of HuK, but the Void Ray is going to get revealed. Roaches and Zerglings are actually, they don't just jump on top of Void Rays to do some damage. He's going to go ahead and kill anything on the ground. HuK now, okay, Golden, I would just focus down that Nexus. There you go. So he's going to try to focus that, try to get the cancel on that Nexus. That would be a very big win from Golden. In fact, he's committing to this. 24 additional Zerglings, Metabolic Boost almost completed, and there's that cancel here from HuK. And this absolutely was just what Golden wanted to do. He realizes that's a very quick third. If I can get a cancel, I can possibly take a fourth on my own, or just go for, again, that Roach Hydra push that he did in that previous game. But if you notice, the robotics facility a lot later here from HuK compared to the previous game, and he's going into Twilight Council. So this is looking to be the very same composition that he went for in game number 1, which is Immortals, Blink Stalkers, and then eventually into Archons, although last game he didn't really need to do that. Golden now is going to have a good amount of units on the map. 42 Zerglings, 3 Roaches, should easily be able to clean up these pylons. Void Rays, again, 2 of them, going to start to march their way here towards the third base of Golden. Doesn't have enough spores, actually. 1 spore coming down. That's actually going to need to finish very soon, so these Void Rays don't do too much damage. 1 spore coming up in the main base, so now Golden has to evacuate these drones. He realizes he didn't get the defenses up in time, and these Voiders are now going to start to hack away at these drones. Units lost, workers lost, actually, in this regard. We see 3 already killed from HuK. Not so much, but he is able to control the map, and that is just so many Zerglings for HuK to be able to deal with. 42 Lings. Even if he makes Void Rays, there's not enough gateway units for him to actually engage into this. This is enough units to basically play defensive, but, I mean, unless you have, like, the best force fields in the world, then you might be able to trap these Zerglings. But now these Roaches and Zerglings, no, absolutely no way HuK can move out in his base, or move out from his base anytime soon. We're going to see HuK move here towards the main base, going to focus down that Roach Warren. Golden now getting Glower Reconstitution, and he's getting his +1 weapon. So this is very similar to the last game. The only difference is he's not making a Hydralisk Den. So he's really committing to Roaches and Zerglings. No Spire yet from Golden, no Hive, no Infestation Pit, no actual meaty tech that's gonna, you know, take him towards the mid to the late stage of the game. But he's kind of just figuring HuK slowly but surely. HuK's now getting a Colossi, realizing that's a lot of units here from Golden. He's gonna get he needs to get some sort of splash damage to really be able to deal with this from Golden. Another cancel, so this is continuing to increase the chances of Golden winning this game. +2 in the production tab from HuK. We're also getting the Thermal Lance, of course, the Colossi range. So I'm feeling if HuK can get up to maybe 2 Colossi, he should be able to start to move, you know, towards the third base, and then feel a little bit more safer for taking that expansion. Next is coming up for HuK. And Golden still just Zergling and Roach. Now we're going to see the Spire from Golden. So is this going to be a Mutalisk transition, or is this going to be maybe Corruptors? I'm thinking this might be Mutalisks here from Golden. Corruptors usually not the best answer against a player going Void Rays and Colossi, but maybe he's going to be able to scout out that HuK only made 1 Void Ray or 2, and then it can go into Corruptors to try to deal with this Colossi. But here we go, Golden definitely doesn't want to attack into that. That's a lot of Zerglings, but against Colossi and Force Fields, that's not the best unit you want to be making against that kind of a composition from HuK. So HuK now taking the 3rd base, as I mentioned before, going up to this Blink play. Of course, once he has Blink, he should be able to do similar tactics to what he did in that last game and just control and pace out the remainder of this match. But Golden might actually be caught a little bit with his pants down, making 11 drones, going to be up to 66. HuK hitting right before Golden is going to be able to get additional units. There's the Force Fields to zone out the Roaches and the Zerglings. HuK has really, really good position here. Colossi in the back, and they're going to try to focus down these Roaches, but Golden just doesn't have the right army to engage into this. HuK still has 2 Colossi remaining. These Immortals are going to be enough to be able to deal with these Roaches, but the thing here that's good for Golden is there's no proxy pylon in position at all from HuK. More units here coming in from the back. Golden trying to focus down the Colossi. 137 supply to 119. Golden a little bit supply blocked. He will be able to get 1 Colossi, but that's still a good amount of units here remaining from HuK. Another Colossi going to join its buddies. More Stalkers continuing to rally here towards the 3rd base of Golden, and that is a good solid pickoff here from HuK. Killing that 3rd base, forcing Golden to still commit to Roaches and Zerglings and not be able to get any additional better tech. No Hydras. Obviously, you don't want to go Hydras at this point in the game against Colossi. No Mutas, no Corruptors, just Roaches and Zerglings against Immortals, Colossi, and Void Rays. That's just not the position you want to be in here for Golden. And now he's down to 60 drones to 54 probes. So even though HuK's 3rd base was very, very late compared to a typically timed 3rd base on this map, he's still able to kind of keep himself in the game. And I would actually give a big advantage from HuK right now. He has an upgrade advantage. He's able to pick off this expansion from Golden, which is, of course, the expansion that was in this location. He has a 3rd of his own. He's sitting quite even in economy here with Golden. 57 probes to 60 drones. And now he can honestly just gather up more Stalkers, get a few more Colossi, maybe even wait for +3, and then decide to go for the push. Oh my god, Golden going into Mutalisks. 9 Mutalisks, 26 Roaches. I am not feeling this composition right now from Golden. Mutalisks against this many +3 Blink Stalkers does not seem like it's going to be a fight. We're going to see some Mutas here swing around towards the natural base of HuK. HuK's going to blink there. We'll be able to force these Mutalisks back. And now HuK has a big army. Units count for the Protoss. We see 29 Stalkers, 6 Sentries, 3 Colossi. HuK marching his way towards the natural base. 160 supply to 163. Of course, this Mutalisk play generally tends to favor the Zerg a little bit because you can do these base trade situations. But head on, I would actually say HuK should technically have the stronger army with this many Blink Stalkers. He's actually going to send some Stalkers back home. And he does have Blink. He's going to go ahead and blink back against these Roaches. There's a